Good morning or afternoon, I guess now. It's 12:10. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Hope that you are having a great one out there. I appreciate you sliding in and clicking on the video, whether you've been subscribed and you've been watching for a long time. You may be one of the first ones down in the comments there all the time, or, maybe it's your first time. Thank you for stopping in. Today, we're going to listen to the band Flock of Dimes. We're going to listen to this track, The Joke, which is off of their debut album, If You See Me, Say Yes, which was released in 2016. I like the name of the album, If You See Me, Say Yes. And I like the, would this be considered like impressionist painting? There's a word for this type of painting or this album cover. Is that impressionism? I do not remember. Anyways, we are listening to this because this particular track was suggested and sponsored by Ivy and Will. So Ivy and Will, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support as well. I've never heard of the band, but we're going to go ahead and, of course, give them a listen. Flock of Dimes, I cannot help but make the joke with their split-off band be a pack of nickels.
Please clap.
As I pull up the album and let that joke just simmer, we'll let the music play. Here we go. Interesting structure there. I like how the guitar gets with her. It's a great sound. It's a very quick oscillation. There is something very, very interesting about this track. Besides the music of it all sounds good, yeah. There's, however, rhythmically and structure-wise, there's something really kind of going on here, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I think I have my sights set on the right idea. I just don't know exactly how to go about and saying it. Okay, this is like a very cheerful, wonderfully playful, kind of indie pop song. I love I love everything about it, but the colors in here are really, really wonderful. I mean, the album cover definitely matches with what we're getting here because the music is colorful, it is bright, it's vibrant. I love the keys, and it's almost like the keyboardist. Hold on, let me pull out the names. Piano and keys and everything are performed by Aaron Roche. It's almost like Aaron reached into a toy box and pulled out a bunch of different toys and games and different things and somehow incorporated the spirit of those into the keys and the synths and the piano and such, and really got like a playfulness out of that and incorporated that into the music, but not in the way of sounding like a cheap plastic toy. No. Like actually incorporating the joyful soul of that childish innocence into the music there. And I love that. Held together by a very strong bass line, performed by a lead singer who's Jen Wasner, which we're going to talk about her in a second. And then you also have some pedal steel guitars, Susan Alcorn, which kind of brings a little bit of a country twang in here, but not leaning into that direction. And then regular guitar, also played by Aaron Roche. So you have some saxo as well, not necessarily in this track. And I like how the electronic elements are handled in here because they're handled with subtlety when the bass, kind of gets into that deeper end from the second verse or second chorus forward. It kind of gets into that more modern kind of pop sound. But the way that it's handled is really, really wonderful done. However, the thing I want to talk about is the singing and maybe the time signature to an extent. Hear me out. Lead singer Jen Wasner, really fantastic voice. I love what she brings into it. Out of the vibrancy of the music, she also brings a sort of joyful bounce into it as well with the way that she performs vocally. I really like her vocals because of how she plays around with everything rhythmically. I'd have to give this a second listen, but it seems that the song is pretty straightforward in its time signature. It seems like it's just playing 4/4. However, there's some moments within the verse where she kind of does, she kind of plays with the meter and the stress and unstresses of her singing. Kind of like in poetry and writing, you have stress and unstressed syllables and such. You kind of have a similar thing going on here with Miss Wasner and how she's performing. So in the beginning, when she's singing in the verse, it's kind of hushed but stressed in some ways, the way that she sings, which is cool. I like that a lot. However, as it gets into the second half of the verse, her vocal stylings begin to change a little bit, and that she kind of sings in an odd meter, basically. At least that's what I'm kind of hearing. And a lot of times when she was singing in the verse also, the guitar was perfectly strumming with her, so it wasn't just strumming like normal 4/4. It was strumming on those hits with her singing. And it was just so interesting. I wasn't looking at the timestamps to find the time. This is the more straightforward part. Like, see how she play? Hold on, you'll see. Here. See? There. See how she's constantly maneuvering so skillfully in how she changes, like where she comes in on that beat, where she drops in onto that groove. She is the needle that drops onto the vinyl of the music, and the way that she does it, the choice of time that she decides to do it, just seems really cool. And I like how her and the guitar, it's her playing guitar. I'm dumb. I like how her and the guitar, so of course she's on time. She doesn't have to think too hard about it. It's so in sync, and it kind of creates such a unique and odd and yet palpable way of getting to the music. I think it's just very unique. Maybe I'm thinking too hard about it. I don't think I am. I think it just sounds really, really great. And it kind of brings a unique aspect into the music rather than just singing still and stagnant and just, right on the bar and everything. The young, the old, the dead, and you and I presently traveling west, chasing the sun. That's a great song. That's a great little dance song. See where once it was, it will be again. Right? Chasing the sun, well, you're going to end up where you were just at least 24 hours before. And I have lived a charmed life. The hand of fate rests on my shoulder. Still I get the joke. Try to make you laugh. It speaks for itself. The child I'll never have, the stranger on the sidewalk, all who've ever lived now are waking up to wish us luck. Like, the joke is us. That's how I view it. The joke is our relationship. The joke is us. You know, she says, the young, the old, the dead, you and I, like, we're all just chasing the sun, trying to chase something that you'll never grab, you'll never attain. She says she's lived a charmed life. The hand of fate rests on my shoulder. Still, I get the joke. Try to make you laugh. It speaks for itself. And apparently, the laughter may even turn to crying. In here, the child will never have the stranger on the sidewalk. All who have ever looked are waking up to wish us luck. I view that as almost like their... here's how I view that line, or that stanza there. The child I'll never have, the child representing, I would say, a deep commitment to each other. So a deep relationship with each other. And the child being kind of one of the types of culminations of that love and that relationship. Well, that's never going to happen. The stranger on the sidewalk, also the complete opposite of that would be the complete dissolution and separation of the two. To the point that you're strangers on the sidewalk. That's apparently not happening. So they're stuck somewhere in the middle. Now, is it others who said that they're, wishing them luck? Which should be obvious according to the lines. Or could they be kind of like looking a little bit outside of themselves? A little looking at ourselves from the outside in is basically what I'm saying. You guys have never heard, hold on. You've never heard Chase the Sun by Planet Funk? Never heard this song? This is a good one. You hear it build up. I didn't skip ahead far enough. And drop. You never heard this song? This is a classic, man. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I appreciate you all watching. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, Ivy and Will, for the recommendation and the suggestion as well. Have a wonderful one. I'll see you all later. Puts me in a good mood.